It is crunch time for members of a bipartisan committee working on a border security deal. Congressional staffers say Monday is the latest the group can finalize legislation without having to pass a short-term spending bill to avoid another government shutdown. Now the members saying a deal appears in reach after a closed-door briefing yesterday from Border Patrol officials. One more potential hurdle, House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer saying that even if they do reach a deal, he has no confidence the president will sign the legislation. As to whether that measure would fund a border wall, here's one top Senate Democrat, Dick Durbin.
I'm going to just hold back from making any public statement on that. Let me say that the issues of border security are being discussed honestly and openly, that there is an effort in this conference committee to reach a bipartisan agreement. I think people of goodwill can do that.
And here's acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney on Hannity last night on the president's commitment to build a border wall.
He is. We would love to work with Congress to do that. That's the right way to do it. It's the easiest way to do it. It's the fastest way to do it. But if Congress won't participate and won't go along, we'll figure out a way to do it with executive authority. And let's be clear about this, legal executive authority. This is not a circumstance of the president overstepping his bounds.
Mulvaney also announcing that he's invited a group of bipartisan lawmakers to Camp David this weekend for what's being called, quote, an honest get-together to reestablish connections of both sides of the aisle. Lisa, I'm going to start with you because I am feeling hopeful that this little gaggle of politicians that have gotten together to get something done, left to their own devices, as Nancy Pelosi said, could actually get this done. Am I a fool for being hopeful?
Well, you're never a fool, Melissa. But no, I agree. I actually do think that they'll get something done. I think you might have new border fencing, perhaps not a quote-unquote wall that President Trump can say, but he'll get some sort of additional enforcement along the southern border. I also think you'll see a really narrowly crafted bill. We're probably not going to see anything with Dreamers or, with addressing. I don't think so, because Congress has not been able to address the issue for so long. There's the limited window here, so I don't think you're going to see any sort of comprehensive deal get done. I think it's going to be really limited in scope. But I also think what we found out from the State of the Union is why Nancy Pelosi didn't want President Trump to give the State of the Union. You had something like 76% of viewers, at least according to CBS poll, approve of the speech, 72% approved of his immigration policies, almost 50 million people watching. That sure would have helped during the government shutdown when public opinion really mattered.
Leslie, what do you think about that?
Well, I'm hopeful too, and I'm a pessimist, so it's like really weird.
No, you're not.
I am. Okay, this is what they need to do, and honestly, this is why I think it's exciting when we have two parties that have power. The Democrats have the power in the House, the Republicans have the power in the Senate, because this is really how the government is made to work up. Both sides are supposed to sit down, hash it out, and work together. The problem here is I'm fearful, so here comes the pessimism now coming in, that whatever they come up with is not going to be pleasing to the president. But this is what it comes down to: spin for everybody. If the Republicans can spin it to their constituents, if the Democrats can spin it to their constituents, and if the Republicans can spin it to the president and everybody gets their word,
so the president has already said
signed.
That he is continuing to, and I would imagine, take money that he would be given. I don't have to imagine. He says he's also going to use that to restore some of what's already up. That would mean that technically is a barrier or a wall being used for that money. So Republicans can own it, the president can own it, and Democrats can protect themselves by saying, well, we helped put that up, so we already agreed about it.
We have some news coming out right now that is very appropriate to this conversation we're having right now. Fox is confirming that Appropriations Chairman Senator Richard Shelby told reporters he had a meeting with President Trump. It went well, and Shelby expects a deal over the weekend or by Monday. So it sounds like that knocks out Leslie's pessimism over there, that what they're talking about, the president is going to put the kibosh on.
I hope it knocks out what Mick Mulvaney said. I've known him for years and I respect him, but there is no legal authority for the president to spend money that has not been authorized by Congress. They shouldn't be making that threat. The Democrats don't take it seriously. So I'm happy about what you just read, because compromise is the way to go here.
I never believed they were going to go with all those
bludgeoning people with an executive order that'll be invalidated as soon as it's challenged.
There you go.